Guys, you literally cannot make this up. Former NYC Mayor Eric Adams launches a meme coin that hits $580 million in market cap before crashing 80% in a matter of minutes. They rug pulled straight after. Nearly 500 million in market cap has been lost since the post-launch. What did I say in January 2025, 1 year ago, when we started to take profits out of the market? We were seeing a little bit of an altcoin season. In my opinion, we've had two altcoin seasons. March 2024, when we started to take profits, we think we took around 30% out of the market. January 2025, and this is the exact reason what we're seeing happening now is the exact reason I was taking profits. I said here, you can see in my post in January, right? I said, looks like Trump's coin launch will bring maximum uncertainty to the TradFi investors. I was okay with chilling until they launched Millennia 2 days later. So why would you launch another asset, another meme coin just 2 days later after the main one? Because the main one could have done actually quite well, and then you basically showed everyone that you were just interested in money, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have launched another one just a few days later, because everyone's going to sell the first one, buy the second one, dump that, etc. So I said, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. Many more will come. Mass dilution into the market. Insiders will print hundreds of millions. Insiders printing millions of dollars, right? That's what we've seen. The whole space has become a shambles. The whole space has become a mess. Look at the state of altcoins. I'm so glad we took some profits and started to sell a lot of our altcoins out of the market, because it's just been savage, right? This shortly after this post, you can see here, 21st of January, sold Pepe, sold all my NFTs, sold 70% of my AI16Z. We're going to let's go back and look at some of these prices. Sold 80% of my virtuals, sold all of my trade, so sold the rest of my trade, took profits on the rest of that. We made like 10x on that. I know we made around 10x on Pepe. Sold 50% of my Sui. I just started selling like crazy because I could kind of see that this is coming. I mean, look at the state of this.
Called the New York City token, inspired
I don't know if you guys can hear this.
And ambition to become the crypto capital of the world.
We're going to continue to invest in making our city a safer city.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You can't make it up. It's just become, the space has just become an absolute meme. Yeah, so look, let's have a look. In this video, I want to look back at some of the decisions. Have they pumped? Have they dumped? Did I make the wrong decision, right decision? This is going to help us sell next time, right? So most people missed this, missed this sell. They didn't take profits. They were waiting for an altcoin season that never came, and now they're saying it's coming, it's coming. Guys, it's almost been 2 years, right? In March 24, when we had the first altcoin season, it's nearly been 2 years. It's nearly time to start accumulating again for a bear market, let alone, an altcoin season. But, you've got two options. If you missed it, you either say I'm wrong. People aren't going to say that, right? They're not going to say, look, I'm wrong. I messed up. I DCA'd and now my bags are down 80, 90%. Of course, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, I'm just going to hodl. I'm just going to accumulate. But that's not how the game works, right? The game of making money in crypto is buying in the bear market and selling in the bull run. And we had our first altcoin season here. Now, don't tell me it wasn't an altcoin season. Solana went from $8. It was $8 to $207. And people were saying we haven't had an altcoin season. What the hell was that then? What the hell was that? It was a 20x. That's $1 million to $20 million in less than a year. That's what you call an altcoin season. Then our second altcoin season was January 2025. This is the peak here. So this is where we started to sell more Solana, around 250. I didn't sell this exact peak. I think it went up to 270, 280. The post was on January the 21st. So it was around $250. In my opinion, that was the second sell. Here was our bull run buy. So the SMC bot gave us the buy signal around $23. And now can you see we're starting to roll over here? Do you see the rollover? Right? You've had that parabolic move to the upside. You tried to break through more momentum. You couldn't break through. You have massive, massive resistance here. You're forming this big M pattern here. Probably going to lose this neckline at some point or another. We might chop and change here, but at some point you're normally going to lose that level of support here, and then you're going to go into your bear market, and that's where I'm planning to buy, just as we did last cycle, right? We waited, price came down, we went into a bear market, and that's where we began to accumulate. And then again, I'm going to sell early next cycle, guys. I'm not going to sit here and wait for Q4 after the halving. Eric Trump said we're all going to be rich, right? There's going to be a whole new bunch of green investors, new retail that don't understand how market cycles work, don't understand how the game works, and they're going to do this again. You're going to see this massive pump here. Everyone's going to say crypto's about to go parabolic, and that's when I'm going to be taking my first profits out of the market again, even probably before we hit all-time high. We'll see how bad this bear market gets, right? If I'm 10x before we hit all-time high, I have no issues taking money off the table, right? Pigs get slaughtered. If I put $1 million into, let's just say if I put $10,000 into Solana and it does a 10x, that's $100,000, and I'm happy to take some profits off the table if that happens. So yeah, it's kind of funny how it's all kind of played out. I talked about many different reasons here why I was talking profits. We'll skip through it. I won't bore you all with all of it. We'll skip through it, but we'll talk about the key reasons why I took profits here. So first of all, I put disclaimer, this is my personal strategy. It doesn't mean I'm right, and it doesn't mean that the market won't rally further. Very important. If I'm going to sell here, or in January, the market's pumping, everyone's got FOMO, everyone's saying SUI to $10, Solana to $1,000. For me personally, they're red flags, but they also might be right. Just because I'm taking profits off the table and Solana's 250, it doesn't mean that I'm right. So I need to mentally prepare myself in case the market keeps rallying, and that's why I said it doesn't matter to me. The markets could continue to go higher. That's fine. I've already hit my targets personally, right? So I'm mentally preparing myself to be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong because I'm taking profits off the table. So it doesn't mean the market won't rally further, okay? So warning people here. I simply buy low in the bear market and I DCA out in a bull run, okay? So I wasn't selling everything. I was dollar cost averaging out. So I sold a lot of my portfolio here, and then I sold more of my portfolio here. Why? We'd been through this massive consolidation. We came back to the SMC weekly. We held up a support. There was no sell signal, and we bounced off of that. I think we took longs here as well, right? I think we took long positions here on, well, we did actually take long positions here on Bitcoin and Solana and other altcoins. So that's it, first of all, right? Dollar cost average out. I have 3 DCA out targets. And you know, if you're in my group, I've already hit my 3rd DCA out target, which was, I think it was somewhere around here. I can't remember exactly where. Don't quote me on that. I think Solana was over $200. But that was my final DCA out. And then I sold the rest of my, Solana. I simply buy in the bear market and then 3 DCAs out. In the bull run, I'm going to do the same. I'm probably going to do 3 DCAs out. There might be 2. There might be 2 this next cycle because it would have been better to sell 2 this cycle. But we'll see how things go. It'll either be 2 DCAs or 3 DCAs. I think 3 DCAs gives you an option just in case something, goes parabolic. So it might be 2 or 3. My goal is to preserve profits, right? Very, very key. The way to make money in crypto, in investing, is preservation of capital, right? If the market goes down 90%, 85%, you've got no money to buy. You haven't got any money to buy the bear market, right? If you held all your bags down 80%, 90%, hoping for this infamous altcoin season that never come, all of the money you invested is also down 80, 90%. So you've got no money to buy, and you've just spent 3 or 4 years holding on to hope and a dream because everyone told you everything's going to be fine. It's just a dip. And now you're 8 years behind because you don't have the money. So capital preservation is key, because at some point or another, there's going to be a black swan event. The stock market's going to crash. The real estate market's going to crash. There's always crashes. And if you don't have any money in those crashes, you're not able to capitalize on that. You're not able to leverage that and take advantage of that, as we did this bear market, right? Render came down to like 50 cents. And I was like, guys, this is a steal. I'm buying. And it went up 25x, right? I've played this game before, but this time with more on-chain data, okay? So I'm just reassuring people, I'm looking on-chain. I'm not just guessing here. I'm not just guessing that this might be a top. I'm looking on-chain. And I also saw lots of whales and insiders selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Solana, not just 5 million or 10 million. I saw hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Solana being sold when we pushed up over 250 and into $300, as those guys obviously got in at $10, $15, $20. They made life-changing money, right? They made, you know, stupid money. You don't even want to think how much money they made, and they decided to get out. And that's why some of these things can struggle to go past 20x, 30x, 40x, because people have made 50 million, 100 million, etc., and it gets kind of crazy. So I played this game before. We're looking at the on-chain data. I'll repeat it next cycle with even more experience. Pigs get slaughtered. I'm happy with the gains I've made this cycle. Rule number one, don't get greedy. Why do most people lose in crypto? They make 10x, they make 20x. We've seen it before, right? There's people in my Discord who made 50K. There's people in my Discord who made 150K and it round-tripped their bags all the way down. Pigs get slaughtered. If we know that most humans are greedy, we know that we need to not be greedy, and we need to understand when they're being greedy, and we need to take advantage of that, right? If they're being greedy, we're seeing everyone flood in and starting to buy the same assets, and they're pumping 5, 10x. That's when I need to be self-aware and step back and say, hey, actually, maybe this is a good time to take profits. President Trump just launched a Memecoin. Loads of retail are coming in. They're hearing that Trump is going to push Bitcoin. Trump's going to push altcoins. He's launching projects on Solana. It sounds good. Like, it sounds like the best time to buy, when actually it's the best time to take profits, because you're kind of reaching this peak of events, right? If we see more upside, happy days. If we don't, stable, secured, and sure opportunities will arise. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is it's a win-win either way. I've got a small amount left in the market. I've already taken loads of profits out of the table. I've got stable coins if we go into a bear market. I'm kind of prepared for any outcome. And the short opportunities is key, right? Because the market began to tank. So just because I sold a lot of my crypto, it doesn't mean that I can't still make money. We started to short the market. We started to short Solana. We shorted Ethereum. We shorted Bitcoin, right? Made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars selling. So not only did I capitalize on selling during the euphoria, so I've made all of these stable coins, I was then able to use some of those stable coins to short Solana and short Ethereum and short Bitcoin and short these altcoins as they came down, right? We were shorting Trump. I started shorting Melania at $10. I think it's now 18 cents. I wish I'd held that open, because I would have made over 1,000x, which is absolutely disgusting to even think about. But yeah, 18 cents. It actually hit the target. You can see my X post here. Melania's going very bearish. What was the price here? $2.23. I said the target is 0.25. And that was a 10x down, right, from the time. And it actually went below that, 0.18. Absolutely insane. So yeah, not only do you, by taking profits when everything's pumping, you're taking profits, you're able to then potentially short if you're right? And usually when you get mass euphoria like we did in January, normally the market's going to have a correction at some point or another. Pigs get slaughtered. Happy with the gains I've made. If we see more upside, happy days, etc. Okay, stock market connection. Okay, so we saw a little bit of correlation with the stock market. We've had to analyze that in real time. But usually when the stock market kind of finds a bottom, Bitcoin will try and find a bottom as well. So we can watch that as we go into the bear market for trying to find a floor and when to buy again, right? Because that's the key, when to actually start buying these things when they're down 90%, down 95%, down 99%, which I think a lot of things will be down 99% this cycle. Okay, so yeah. Pretty much just talking about some dilution here, what's going on with NVIDIA, AI agents, etc. And then we move into the sells. Let's quickly go and check some of these. I won't drag it on forever. So we know where Solana is. I think Solana came down to $100. We sold around $250. So, you know, congratulations if you stayed in that short as well. AI16Z. Let's check AI16Z. We already know what happened to Trump. Okay, we already know what happened to Trump. So here's my post about Trump. Took some profits from Trump. What was the price? $68. The price was $68. Price today, $5. Okay, so again, the space is becoming this big joke Ponzi scheme. Pretty much every project is doing pump and dump. Get in early, take profits. Get out, right? Unfortunately, you know, that's what we've done on AVNT as well. Even though I hoped AVNT and Aster would have done well, I still couldn't take the risk, right? So I started to take some profits off the table at, I think, 5x or 6x, and they didn't quite do this, but they have had a massive correction and come back to the downside. So right now in this space, it doesn't seem like you can hold anything, right? It doesn't seem like if you get in early and you're up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%, sorry, 900%, it seems like you have to sell, right? It's a no-brainer. If you're planning to capitalize on the swings and the movements, it doesn't seem like we're going to see anything hold up anytime soon. Maybe as we go into next cycle, that will change, but for the short term, not likely. So we're going to check AI16Z. AI16Z, January, we sold some more of this. January 25, look at this. January 25. The price was, oh my God. The price was like around $2. So the price was like $1.70, $2, and today it's below 1 cent. It's below 1 cent. So it must be down over 99%. Yeah, 99.85%. So literally, that's scary to think about, because you remember how popular this was and how much money was in here. There was big money in here, man. I mean, the market cap was $2.4 billion. The market cap was $2.4 billion. And the market cap now is the market cap now is 1.5 million. Like, that's probably one of the most extreme rug pulls I've seen. And so if I had 100K in here, it would be worth a few $100s. So $100,000 would now be worth a few $100s. You see how this game is, it's not a joke. And also, if you invested down here, you would have made life-changing money, maybe a 50x or 40x, right? So, 10K in this down here, could have returned $400,000, just 10K, $500,000. Get those who got in early and those who sold won and made profits, and then again look down 99%. Absolutely disgusting rug pull. Hey, maybe this comes back and does another 10, 50x next cycle. We'll see. And these are the kind of things I'll look at in the bear market and just see what exchanges is it still listed on? Has it been delisted from all the exchanges? What are the smart money doing? Are the smart money still accumulating or holding? What's the project doing? Are they posting? Are they tweeting? Are they working? These are the sort of things I'll be doing in the bear market, because I see some of these things come back as well, guys, right? We see some of these things come back. Virtuals. Let's have a look at virtuals. Did we make a mistake on virtuals, or did we do well? Don't forget, we actually moved a lot of this money into quantum computing as well. So January 25, not quite the top, because it was like the 20th. It was around here, $3. It was around $3. Virtuals hasn't done terrible. I mean, it's still $1, right? It's still $1. So you still would have been down like 60, 70%. But yeah, 60, 70% is better than 99%. I still think this is going to come down 90%. So, it's probably going to drop another, I don't know, maybe 50 cents, maybe a little bit lower than 50 cents from here. What's the market cap? Maybe more. It's around $1 billion market cap. So maybe in a bear market, this will be sitting around 300 million, maybe 250, 200 million market cap. And yeah, it's in the AI sector, right? There's not many projects that are kind of fit in that AI sector. AI is likely going to be here in TradFi. So again, I'm going to be researching these kind of projects in the bear market. Are the smart money there? What's the market cap? Are the teams still working? Are they going to events? Have they hired new people? What's the roadmap? What's on the roadmap for the next 6 months? What's the strategy? What's the user adoption? Who's using it? What's the utility here? We'll do deep reports on each project that could potentially have a run, especially those that have crashed the most. I want to buy the best projects in the bear market that have crashed by the most, right? Those are going to be the main targets. We're not going to have to look into all of these guys, but I think, trade, we made a 10x on Polytrade. I guess this is probably down 99%. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We got in down here somewhere before the RWA narrative. We could see the narrative was coming. We got in before the RWA narrative, and we sold around a 10x. I think it was like 2.2. We sold, and then the classic middle finger, pattern strikes again, and yeah, down. Is it down 90? It must be down 99% from the peak. 80%, 90%. 0.05 is crazy, man. I think we sold at $2.20. It's scary to look back at this because I think I put $10,000 in this, and it started to get, I remember it being over $40,000 at one point, and it's kind of scary to think that that 40K would have been 1K. And then maybe I put that 40K into quantum computing because I put over 40K into quantum computing, and that done 400%. So it might have turned into over 100K, right? It might have been over 100K that if I had have just held and hoped that everything was going to be okay, I would have lost most of my money. So please remember this. If you held your bags down and you really held and hoped and you thought everything was going to be okay and everyone said just DCA, please remember, because there was people who left my group that went into DCA into some of these projects, and they told me they knew better and everything was gonna. They said I didn't understand what the projects were. January 2025, SUI was $4.80. Today, $1.80. Even layer ones have been terrible, right? Even layer ones get decimated, and this is this market cap is still $18 billion, so this is going to get decimated in the bear market. This is going to get decimated in the bear market, guys. Okay, this is going to be horrific, and I think people aren't going to believe the price of SUI. And these are the ones I'm going to come back and scoop, right? These are the ones I'm going to come back and buy when SUI's down 90%, when SUI's down 95%. And if it's not, hey, there's plenty more fish in the sea, mate. I don't have FOMO. I don't have attachment to these projects. I don't have attachment to these companies, right? I'm not like a lot of the other channels in the space. They might be sponsored by some of these blockchains, right? And they kind of have to be careful what they say. I don't care if SUI dumps. I don't care if Solana dumps. Right? I'm not sponsored by these guys. I'm here to make money, and hopefully I can help you guys make money along the way. If you make money, you're probably going to subscribe to the channel. You're probably going to like the channel. You're probably going to drop comments. You might even join our Discord, right? You might even join our Discord so you can see exactly what I'm doing when I'm taking profits, when I'm buying assets, when I'm buying stocks. And not just me, right? We have a professional leverage trader I've hired. I pay him decent money, and he provides great trades in our Discord as well. So yeah, if you want to join us, by the way, head over to my Twitter, guys. Search this one, the bottom one, not the top one. And then you'll click this link, and then you can jump in with us. And you also get the SMC bot for free. So you see this bot that gives buy and sell signals in TradingView. This works in a free TradingView, so you don't need to pay TradingView, but it gives these signals buy and sell, so you can get that in your own TradingView. It comes free with the Discord. So when you join, it comes free with the Discord. So yeah, I'm not going to go through them all. Pretty much everything's down 70%, 80%, 90%. Sold 70% of my AOS. I am actually interested to see how AOS done. AIOZ. AOS, not as bad as I was expecting. January 25, it was sitting around $1, and it's down 90%. It's sitting at 10 cents now, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's down 90%. It's down 90%. I'm so happy, actually. I told one of my friends I was selling, and I said I'm taking profits, and they were convinced that AOS was going higher, and they had a lot of money in AOS. And I'm glad that we can look back on this, and if they had have held, they would have been down hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So sometimes it's better to take profits off the table and let it go higher. Let it run. You've made $1 million. You've made $2 million. Whatever. You've made a life-changing money. You bought in the bear market down here when everyone was saying crypto's dead, it's over. You were buying. You held into the bull run. You deserve those gains, right? Those who survived the dump deserve the pump. You deserve those gains, but don't get too greedy and don't let it all just get washed away, because people like me are going to dump on you. I am going to dump on you. I'm going to take profits. I'm going to sell, and there's plenty more people like me who will sell into these euphoria pumps, who will sell and dump on you in these euphoria pumps. And it's you who held because you had belief and conviction that got sold. And just continue to watch your bags go down, right? So please, if you messed up this cycle, remember the game. It's a game. Buy low, sell high. It's not buy low, hold forever. Baby Pepe. Everyone called me an idiot for selling Baby Pepe. I think we made like a 40x, or I made a 40x on Baby Pepe. I called this really early. I called this really early, and look what happens, right? What happens to people who hodl they get absolutely wiped. Is this the same? Is this the same baby Pepe? Yeah, January 25. Yeah, it was the same baby Pepe. We actually bought this down here. Can we see market cap on this? Yeah, we actually bought this down here. It was under $1 million market cap. The market cap was crazy. I can't remember exactly what we got this at, but it pushed up to like 14, 15 million market cap. And yeah, it was definitely, I think it was like a 30, 40x that I made on this. I started to dollar cost average out. I didn't sell at the exact top. But again, I DCA'd out because no one can time these things, right? Well, a lot of the time you can't time these things. And look at it now, right? It's probably down again, 90%, 95%. Get in early, spot the trend, right? I saw Baby Doge was listed on Binance. I said, bang, Baby Pepe's got to be listed. And then we had this massive rally off the speculation, right? A lot of these rallies will be based on speculation. OXO, sold 100% of my OXO. Casper, we made a 25x this cycle. Like, everyone said there was no altcoin season. Yet we still made money on Casper. Stacks, I made money on Stacks. I made a lot of money on Inge. I made so much money on Tau. Super, I made money. I ended up selling again in Super. So Super, I traded a bit, but we got in early to Super. And again, I'm so happy I sold Super because that collapsed. C-Paul, made money on C-Paul, collapsed. Say I made money and I broke my rule for the first time. I got in early, I doubled my money and I didn't take out my initial. I actually bought more. But I'm glad I didn't do that on my entire portfolio because I would have been wrecked. If I bought more at the top, I would have got absolutely wrecked. So Say was a bad investment. But hey, it's a great investment because it taught me a lesson that even though I had a lot of hope that Say was going to potentially take a lot of Ethereum's customers, it was just one project, right? I wasn't doing this across the board. It was just one project that I decided to put more money in. And then I ended up cutting it anyway, right? It didn't hold it down to the ground. I ended up cutting it back in January. So that's another key lesson. Even if I'm in a loss on an asset, I won't sit and hold it. I will cut it. If it's at a 50% loss, great. 60% loss, great. I only need like a 2x to get back to where I was, right? I don't want to be in a position where I need 100x to get where I was. Because if your asset goes down 99%, you're going to need 100x to get back to where you were. So say January 25, it was this final pump, right? It was this final relief rally. It was kind of, this is a lovely chart because this is how it feels like to me, right? This was altcoin season here. Market caps were getting pretty big. It's like 2.3 billion. This was altcoin season here. The first altcoin season, and then we went into a bear market, and the second altcoin season was a relief rally. That's how it feels to me, and it feels like this is the perfect chart because this is what a bear market chart kind of should look like. And it feels like to me we're going to have another little relief rally here, potentially going into Bitcoin's dead cat bounce, and then we're going into the final leg of the bear market, right, which gets savage, right? So I'm looking for a kind of a relief rally here. I really like this chart. It pretty much sums up how I feel altcoin season is right now. Just sold so many. I just went through all of my old wallets as well. I was finding so many altcoins in January, and I had a high conviction that we weren't going to have this famous Q4 rally where everyone sells together. I kept saying it right throughout my videos. I'm not sure about Q4. Everyone is planning to sell in Q4. And then we started to get Eric Trump saying Q4 is going to be incredible. It was almost like they were trying to sell and get as much liquidity into the market as they could. And I could see on chain the smart money was selling, right? The insiders were selling, the smart money was selling. And I'm glad that we sold in January because that was kind of the final pump that we've seen. And it might even be the last big pump that we'll see, guys. We'll see. So yeah, the market's a mess. The market's a shambles, guys. There's going to be plenty more of these rug pulls. You know, we got rugged by a Coinbase dev, like someone who actually works at Coinbase launched a token and rugged it. I think they still work there as well. This is going to come with the Trump administration as well and a softer SEC. This is what happens when you strip back the SEC and you're kind of like, hey, no crying in the casino, right? And you know, there's pros and cons with both of these, and you're just going to have your wits about you because if Trump can come out and rug everyone, why can't everyone else, right? That's the way they think about it. If Trump can come out and make hundreds of millions of dollars launching a couple of meme coins, Why can't I come and get my piece of the pie? Why can't I get my $5 million, right? And they're absolute savages, right? They don't care. They just want to make money, guys. So yeah. What do you think about this market? So we're waiting for this dead cat bounce. I feel like we're rolling over. Show me the dead cat bounce. Let me get out of the market. Show me the bear market. That's what I'm looking for right now, and I feel like we're coming up to that. BTC still following our trajectory. We had a buy signal down here from the SMC bot. Bull run. Buy signal here into bull run. Happy days. Up to resistance. Rejection. Top of the market. Buy signal down here from the SMC bot. Again, great. Bull run, up to resistance, top of the market, rejection. This is where we started to take some big shorts. And we really printed on those shorts. We took shorts here as well. And now I'm looking for that dead cat bounce. You see what happened last time after we lost the bull run trend line? I'm looking for a dead cat bounce into bear market. Dead cat bounce into bear market. Into accumulation. And that's where the data really comes in. Where to buy in the bear market really comes from the indicators, because people will say, what price are you buying? I'm buying at 70K, 60K, 50K. But the indicators have been so accurate, almost like within a few $100s. I'm looking to take a big long position. I want to be long in that 16K BTC, because imagine if you longed 16K BTC here. Imagine how easy it would be to hold. As soon as that started to get up to like 20, 23, 24, you're clear. You're clear. You know you're about to start the next bull run. You know it's not coming down to your liquidation. Because if you long 16K, where's your liquidation? Like 12K? And you could even add to that short as well. So your liquidation could be 8K, 7K. You know you're clear on that, and I really want to get into a fat long position this cycle and hold it into that first rally. I don't know if I'll hold it for multiple years because of how crypto's gone, but I'm going to hold it into that first rally, probably for a year. I'd like to hold it for 12 months and really print off of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the channel. Drop a comment below. Any content, what you want me to do videos about. I'm still in long positions on Bitcoin at the moment. And yeah, just seeing if we get this dead cat bounce. And then I'm going to look for a massive short position. Don't forget, none of the information in this video is financial advice, do your own research. Investing in anything, investing in crypto or assets is highly risky. You can lose all of your money at any time whatsoever. So always do your own research first. If you want to join us, jump in, head over to Twitter, search for this. Click the link here to join us, and you can get access to my Discord so you can see all my buy and sell alerts, what we're doing, leverage trades. It's a monthly thing, guys, so if it's not for you, just jump in for a month and you can leave at any time. Well, you can leave after your first month's up, right? Just cancel your subscription. It's not like a lifetime thing. If you want a lifetime membership, we do sell lifetime memberships, but if you want to test it out, you can do the monthly thing. That's it for now, guys. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.